What's up, Sassy? It's your girl Sassy J, and welcome back to my channel, guys. Welcome back. So you don't know how it go. Just watch Love is Blind UK, guys, and listen. As soon as I finished watching it, I said, let me just come on here and do this review, like really quick. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, so before I get into the video, please give the video a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please subscribe. The girl's trying to get to 5k subscribers before the end of the year. So guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because Steven and Sabrina, I really had high hopes for them, and they are not together, guys. Sabrina and Steven, and it's not only that they're not together, they couldn't even sit with each other. You can feel the tension between them. You can tell they literally would go into an argument if Emma and Matt didn't kind of like step in. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, basically, so Sabrina is saying that the distance played a part of it, but also she felt like Steven, all the stuff that he said to her about, supporting her, when she said she was going to change her job and all that kind of stuff, he was saying that he would support her, but that wasn't actually the case. He wasn't supportive. She said the communication was bad. He wasn't consistent, because she said, obviously, like, Steven doesn't like to talk on the phone and message and all that kind of stuff. So when they weren't together, that made it really hard because there was no communicating. And she said she felt like she worked towards making the relationship, the marriage work, because she traveled back to see him 7 times, but he only went to Belfast twice. 2 times. Now, come on, the disappointment is very high for Steven, because 2 times? No, sir. 2 times? But anyway, let me finish what she was saying. So she said that she went there 7 times. He went 2 times. He came 2 times. But she said even when he did come to see her, she was accommodating to him. But he never made any adjustments. She said he wanted an iron board. She gave him an iron board. She said she rented a car for him to go to the gym and all of that kind of stuff. She said when she did go to see him, he never made any adjustments. He never prioritized spending quality time with her. But Steven is trying to say that that is a lie. Steven said nothing no go so. Steven saying that out of respect for the person that he thought he married, he's not going to really go into it as much. But what he's saying is, what Sabrina's saying is a lie. He said that he felt like he tried to make it work, but the distance did kind of play a part in it. And obviously he's saying that the whole thing is like, it's a difference being a part of the show when the show is catering and footing the bill, all that kind of stuff. But he was struggling financially in some areas, and he had to prioritize the work, basically, which he was saying that obviously Sabrina knows about this. And she did say, well, listen, I did try to support him in a lot of different ways. But what Steven is saying that is, in real life, between them, it was a bit more harder. It was harder because of the expectations he believes Sabrina had of him. I don't know, maybe she was expecting him to continue with the luxury dates and all this kind of stuff. Maybe that's what he was trying to say. But guys, I'm not gonna lie. Them two looked like they wanted to fight, right? They could not. And it's so weird because I was rooting for them. But they looked like they wanted to fight. They couldn't even, because obviously there was other couples that weren't together, but they could not sit with each other. That is crazy to me. And even in their face, when they look at each other, you could tell like they were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I honestly feel like the frustration is from Sabrina when, you go try to see somebody 7 times. I'm not being funny. Like, communication is a big thing for me, right? It's a massive thing for me, because if you can't prove to me, do you know what I mean, that you can communicate and take the time out to communicate and to spend time with me, for me, you'll lose me right there and then. Because one thing I never take from my head, my mind, is that when you like somebody or you love somebody, you're constantly thinking about them. They're on your mind. So it's impossible for you to go throughout the whole day not wanting to talk to them, not wanting to message them, not wanting to communicate with them, to talk to them, tell them about your day, even just to hear their voice. So at the end of the day, like, I feel like it's a wedding, it's a marriage at this point. This should not have been happening. And do you know what? I did have concerns about the distance, but I was hoping that they would make it work, because at the end of the day, I've got friends that they live in separate country and they're in love with each other and they're making it work. Do you know what I'm saying? Long distance relationships can be challenging, but if you want to make it work, you will make it work. And that's it. Point blank, period. Anyways, I mean, I am kind of like, you know, I'm disappointed and I'm sad that they weren't able to make it work. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But anyways, Ollie and Demi, guys, Ollie and Demi, they're not together. They seem cool, but they're not together. And Demi was saying, listen, you know, I watched back the show. I did not like what I see. That was not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a better place now. I'm on a different journey. She's on a completely different self-love journey. And right now, she's saying, listen, Ollie is a nice guy, but he was just not my guy. Do you know what I mean? And I don't need a guy to validate me on my feelings and, you know, how I feel about myself. You know, I can't get that validation from a guy. And she's 100% right. I loved watching Ollie and Demi, and I feel like they would have made such a good couple. I definitely feel like they had a strong connection, I do. But like I said about episode 10, the fact that Demi had said that when they had that time apart, she did not have any communication with Ollie. It goes back to what I say again. Communication, if you really love me, you will be communicating with me, because you will want to talk to me. You will be missing me. So maybe, do you know what I mean? It's just one of them things that were just never meant to be. And I do feel like, if I was to be completely honest, I do feel like, you know, this is probably the best decision for her. And I said it in episode 11. I'm happy that she made the decision that she made, and I'm happy for the reason why she made them, because in this life, we have to put ourselves first. We have to prioritize ourselves as well. And at the end of the day, Ollie's not a bad person, but at the end of the day, you want somebody who is going to love you with intention, you know, with intent. You know, I want that person to prioritize me, to care for me. I don't want to ever have to wonder or to think whether or not does that person love me. I don't want to be in any doubt, any confusion. Do you know what I'm saying? When you love somebody, you want it to be completely clear and transparent. There should be no confusion. Love is not confusing. It is very straightforward. And at the end of the day, if it wasn't being reciprocated like that, or if Demi felt like that was not the feeling she was receiving from Ollie, then I am so happy that she made the decision that she made, because at the end of the day, listen, men come and go, but you only have the one you. So well done, baby girl. I like the fact that she also pulled up Catherine on the comment that she made about not thinking that Ollie and Demi would work. And I like that Jasmine gave her 2 pence as well, because Catherine was trying to play it down. And when she said it, for me personally, I did kind of think, is she talking about the fact that Ollie seemed to have liked her? Or is it more of physical appearance? And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I feel like she's going off physical appearance. But to be honest with you, I also was wondering whether or not he would have gone for Demi. And to be honest, let's not beat around the bush here. I still honestly believe if Demi was standing there and Catherine was standing there and they didn't have any proper, what's wrong with the voice, girl? Any other like communication, I still felt like he would have gone for Catherine. Ollie is saying no, because he said he wanted to make that clear that Demi is the kind of girl that he would normally go for. It suits the girls that he's been with, not Catherine. I don't know. I mean, we just have to take his word for it. But I honestly feel like if those two ladies were standing side by side, he probably would have gone for Catherine. I don't know. Purely because of how I see him behaving when he met Catherine. That to me is the reason why I said that, because he was more kind of like flirty. They were both flirting with each other. I felt like he was more kind of like drawn to her within that moment. And this is my reason for it. However, I am so glad, because at the end of the day, you should never make anyone make you feel less than. You should never let anyone make you feel less than. You are not. We're beautiful inside and out. We're queens. We should love ourselves. Love ourselves enough. I always say, listen, I love myself enough, baby, for the both of us. You know what I'm saying? So I love Demi for the decision that she made. It's all about self-love, and that's what we're going with. But anyways, so let's move on to Maria and Tom. Now, they decided to go their separate ways, and obviously we knew that was going to happen because of the comments that Tom had made. Maria expressed her anger towards those comments because she felt like it was like an indirect insult to her family. To be honest with you, I felt it was insulting because at the end of the day, him saying that he wanted his daughters to grow up as independent young ladies is almost to assume that he's trying to say that what's her name? Maria is not independent. And Maria did say, listen, I just want to clarify, I didn't expect him to pay my bills and do all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to let him know that I expected to be treated a certain way. Listen, let me tell you something. Me, I look for a man to pay all of my bills then right now. Me not ask Christ. Me want a man to pay all of my bills then. Me want to be a housewife. Not really, but but I want a man to pay all my bills. I do. I want a man to pay all our bills. All our bills. I would want that. However, I have no problem to pay my bills, and I have no problem to do 50-50 in a relationship to cover our bills. But if I do 50-50, honey, it's 50-50 down the line. So I wash a dish, you wash a dish. I cook a meal, you cook a meal. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's either. We go modern or we go old fashioned. That's it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna try to ride it through the middle. We ain't gonna do that. I'm either gonna stay at home. I'm never gonna stay at home because I have to work. I'll get depressed. But I'm either gonna, work in my own time and do my work or whatever. You pay the rent and I do a little bills, provide the food, do the cooking, all that kind of stuff. I don't mind. Me, I look for a man to take care of me. I look for a man to take care of me. That's what I want. Now, I can take care of myself. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I can take care of myself, but I also want a man to take care of me, right? The same way I plan to take care of my man, all right? Anyways, it's not about me. Why am I making it about me? Show me camera, But anyways, so Maria said what she said. Now, Tom, he's basically trying to say that he's watched back the episode and realized that, there were times that he did not treat Maria properly. And for that, he is sorry. And that he felt like he should have treated her better. And he wants to say sorry to the family. Do you know what? He's saying that, but for me, that sounds dry. That sounds dry. At the end of the day, Tom is just up his own ass. Let's face it. Tom is anybody who wants to look down on somebody because of what they do. Do you know what I'm saying? Because first of all, Maria being a makeup artist, that is very artistic. Why are you looking down at somebody being a makeup artist? What is wrong with being a makeup artist, please? I just don't get it. Even if she wasn't a makeup artist and whatever she was, you don't look down on somebody because of that. For me, only ignorant people do stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, from the moment that Tom said that, I was giving him a look from my side eye because I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But, at the end of the day, it didn't work out. They went their separate ways. Obviously, they don't hate each other at this point because they were able to sit beside each other, unlike Steven and Sabrina. But at the end of the day, I think that's it for them. There was some clarification, though, about the mixer, about Tom making it look as if Natasha was saying that she was in love with him within that moment. And Natasha clarified that was her talking about when they were in the pod, right? I do think that Tom was playing a game with that whole situation because Tom was really flirting with Natasha and he tried to downplay what he was doing. So for me, that's when I said I couldn't trust him at all because when he brought that back to Maria, it made it look as if he wasn't flirting with Natasha or he wasn't showing Natasha any interest. But to me, they were flirting, do you know what I mean? So I didn't really trust him from that moment. However, as it turns out, he said about a week ago, he reached out to Natasha. So maybe they're going to try and see if something happened between them. I don't know. But obviously, they're in contact. Talking about people being in contact, Ollie and Charlotte, they literally seem to be getting together. She's saying it's complicated. For me, complicated probably means that, they're probably friends with benefit at this point. He's saying that they're in a good place. She's saying that they're in a good place. But let me tell you something, honey. Let me tell you something. If you are saying it's complicated, more than likely a pencil is going into a sharpener and nobody's owning the pencil or the sharpener. You know what I'm saying? But let me not dwell upon it. I'm just letting you know that Ollie and Charlotte is getting entangled at this very moment in time. But anyways, guys, let's move on to Benaya and Nicole. Do you know what? If I had to guess, if somebody had said to me, Sass, if one of the couples were going to get a divorce or separated, which one would you think would be the couple to separate? I would have never said Steven and Sabrina. I probably would have said Nicole and Benaya. Why? Because I felt like, you know, even though they like each other quite a lot and they had feelings for each other, I felt like I could spot some doubts on the day that Nicole was getting married. And I felt like she had the doubts and she got scared. I felt like she had cold feet for a minute, but I'm glad that she managed to overcome those and say yes. Because look, they're together a year later. They're together. They're happy. And they just look really cute. And you know what I really loved? That when Sam came on stage, right away, instantly, you know, Benaya turned his attention to his wife and was making sure that she was okay. For me, that protector kind of vibes, I love that, because you want to feel safe in your man's company, in your man's arms. You want to feel safe. And he was instantly, the moment Sam came on, all his attention was turned to her, like, are you okay? You okay? I love that. I love that they're, you know, 1 year on and they're making plans and it's working out. Because, do you know what? When you're able to watch their journey from the pods, even watching those behind the scenes, it just shows how much they connected with each other. And this is why I got so kind of like confused when Nicole decided she was gonna, you know, get with Sam, because I'm just like, how? But then again, it was obviously to do with the fact that when she asked Benaya whether he wanted to get married and stuff like that, and he wasn't too keen, or he wasn't giving off a certain response that she wanted. I think in her head, she's like, oh, he doesn't want to get married. You know what I mean? He might not be feeling the same way. I think that's what it was. And you hear Benaya saying, obviously, he just felt like it was so good to be true that he got scared, you know? And they both took like accountability for their part. Benaya was just like, nah, it's all on me, you know, I should have done this. And do you know what? Fair enough, she did make a decision to go with Sam, but she was the one who called it off at the same time. She decided that she did not want to go to Greece and continue with the experiment with Sam. And she said, obviously, Sam was not happy, which for me, Sam was not happy. Why did Sam go and tell Benaya that Nicole wanted to sleep with him? Do you know what I'm saying? Nicole is saying, I don't know why you said it was disrespectful, plus it was a lie. We didn't hear Sam saying whether it was a lie or not. I honestly feel like Sam might have told Nicole no. I'm still sticking with that, but I think he wouldn't answer in this situation because of the heat that he's already getting, right? Because even Demi was like, Sam, just say sorry, apologize, you were disrespectful. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, like, it was kind of like unnecessary for him to say it. It was unnecessary. And it's not like a man's thing to do. It's not like a gentleman-like thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I think he just got really pissed off about the whole fact that Benaya was there with Nicole. And he probably must have felt a bit rejected or turned down himself as well. So it's a whole lot of things. But Sam is saying that, you know, he went on with good intention. They did ask him about the I think I love you situation. And he said, listen, I said that because at that point I was not there. I was not there yet. And I didn't want to say that I love her because I didn't feel like I genuinely did. Do you know what? Gotta respect him for that. At the end of the day, I think I love you. If I don't love you, I'm not going to say I love you. So he said, I think I love you. I did think it sounded really weird. Do you know what I'm saying? And I did highlight that. And I wanted that to be that little switch in Nicole's head to realize that Sam was not the one, because Sam was not ready for that kind of commitment. Do you know what I'm saying? But she just let that flew over her head within that moment. Luckily, she made sense of everything and realized that she was making a mistake before it was too late. But, you know, I can't bash Sam for saying that I think I love you situation and for his explanation, because at the end of the day, it's hard. I don't think I would have fallen in love with somebody that quickly. I don't think so. And even if I did feel like I had these overwhelming feelings, I would have probably not said I love you. I would have probably just said me too, which probably would have been a bit worse. Because trust me, I've had experience of people say to me, Sass, I really love you. And I'm like, oh, thanks. because I don't know what to say. Or I said, me too. Why? Because I'm not there yet, and I'm not going to say it because you said it to me first. That's just how I am as a person. So I completely understand why he said that. Also, take note of the fact that he said even when they met, it was really awkward. Remember I was saying to you guys how awkward that meeting was? It was so awkward to watch. And I was hoping at that point, can you not see how awkward it is, Nicole? Can you not see? Thank God she did. Do you know what I'm saying? But anyways, what's his name? Sam is saying that obviously he's been bashed a few times and he's been bashed by people on social media and all that kind of stuff. But his intentions were good. He went in there for love. And, you know, in the hindsight, looking back, he wished that he had dealt with certain situations a lot different than the way he did. But it is what it is, guys. I mean, things happen for a reason. And Manaya and Nicole, look at them, they're happy, they're together, and that's all that matters. Let's talk about Jasmine and Bobby. Honestly, but Jasmine and Bobby I just love them. And I told you guys, when I heard those vows, like I just knew that came from the heart. That touched me differently. I think I would have been devastated if I found out that they did not make it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because for me, you look at them and they're so happy. Literally, Bobby said after 2 days after the wedding, they moved in together. Do you know what I'm saying? And they now bought their own house. And they're trying for a baby, which for me is just so beautiful, you know. And finally, Jasmine's mom can leave them alone now because she's saying, you know, Bobby has my blessings 110%. This is why it's so important to make your own decision. Remember what I said? Sometimes when you let people influence your decision, you're left in that kind of space where you might be in regret. Like, oh my God, what if? Let's say, what if Jasmine had listened to her mom? What if? Do you know what I mean? Look, she would have been missing out on such a great relationship, such a good bond between her and Bobby. It is crazy. And this is why sometimes it's important to follow your heart. Do you know what I mean? It's okay to listen to your families and friends and their concerns. Do you know what I'm saying? But take it on board does not mean that you have to let their concerns or their doubts influence your decision. And I'm so happy that Jasmine did not allow her mom to influence her because look, they look so happy. You can see the love, you can see the happiness in their eyes, the way they talk about each other, the way they're smiling constantly, touching, the body language, every single thing, guys. I am so happy. And you know what? I'm gonna have to follow them on social media because I want to know when little Babisha and Jasmine comes into play. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying for a baby. So congrats to them. Now, Catherine and Freddie, not together, but they seem like they're really good friends. Freddie said, listen, she'll always be one of my good friends for life. You know, he said he was 50-50. He said, you know what, the problem started after they left the pod. He felt like Catherine was snapping at him for no reason. It wasn't justified. And he felt like he could not be himself. To be honest, I think it was clear that he couldn't be himself. Do you know what I mean? And I don't feel like anyone should tone down who they truly are to please somebody else in a relationship, because it will never work on the long term, because your partner should be able to accept you for you. You know what I'm saying? My annoying side, my crazy side, my every single side, not just my good side. You know what I'm saying? So I am glad that Freddie made the decision that he did. I still stick to the fact that I don't feel like they're compatible. Surprisingly, you know, sometimes, you know, we can have people in our lives that we just get on like so good with as friends. And sometimes they're only meant to be our friends. You know what I mean? Sometimes we get confused by the signs and we take the signs, you know, to a different path or down a different path than they should actually go. So maybe Catherine and Freddie was just destined to be friends and nothing else. Catherine did agree though. She agreed. She said she had the best laugh with Freddie, and she agrees that, you know, she can be snappy. And she was saying that, you know, she's thankful or grateful to Freddie because Freddie definitely kind of like changed her a way of thinking, and so did some of the girls as well, Demi and all that. And, you know, she said that obviously she's happy. They're happy to be friends. They're good. And, you know, it is what it is. They're happy together. They're friends. They can hug it out. There's no bad blood between them. They just weren't compatible, and it is what it is. I'm glad that he did not force himself to make that decision to say I do just because Catherine said I do, because I feel like had he had done that, they probably would have not been in such a good place that they are now. I think they would have definitely gotten divorced, and I think they would have probably been in a similar place to Steven and Sabrina, if not worse, because remember, Catherine is snappy, and you know, the whole thing about the prenup, after the whole marriage situation, if that had gone down, that could have probably caused even more drama and problems for them. So I'm glad that they were able to make this decision before the whole marriage thing and all that kind of stuff, before they committed on that deeper level. I don't think it was ever going to work for them because Freddie just looked so unhappy all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? And they were so happy in the pod. And the irony is, he was saying to Emma that, you know, while they had the walls around them in the pod, everything was good. They felt free. But the moment they left the pod, that's when the walls came up, which, you know, that's when they should be free, but they weren't. And I think that's when you could see the true colors of Catherine coming through. I just think that, like I said before in episode 11, I feel like Catherine has her own demons to work on, like we all do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she just probably needs to work on herself a little bit more with a lot of things, because she did get emotional on a lot of different topics throughout the whole show, to be honest. So I do think that maybe, you know, certain things affect us differently, and the fact that she commented quite a lot on her adoption, I think that is something that's probably bothered her in a lot of different ways as well, and that she felt unloved and unwanted. And I feel like those kind of things do kind of have an impact on how you are and how you behave as a person. So I do feel like, you know, maybe she just needs to focus on her at this moment. But it was good knowing that her and Freddie was able to part ways in like a good way. They did ask Freddie, like, why did you buy the earrings? And he said, you know what, I felt like if I didn't buy the earrings, then it would have made it look like I wasn't making an effort. But I knew that if I did buy the earrings, it would have probably given the wrong impression, which it did. It did kind of make her think that he was gonna marry her. But at the same time, I get where he's coming from. So it's like you know, you can't win in either way. But I'm glad that they did not get married. And proving from tonight's show, I think they would also agree for the fact that, you know, it was the best thing that happened, the best decision that they made, because they just weren't compatible. But anyways, guys, have I covered every single person? I think I have covered every single person. And that's it. Comment down below, let me know what you think about the reunion, guys. Is there anything that shocked you? Anything that you was expecting? I think for me, I was actually thinking that Demi and Ollie would have been together as a couple. I actually thought that. I was not expecting Sabrina and Steven to be in the place that they are now. Even if they were on the show and they were saying, listen, they couldn't work because of distance, I was not expecting for them to be you know, at each other's neck like that. I wasn't expecting that. It was good to know, though, that at least two of the couples are still happy and together. I was expecting the outcome of Freddie and Catherine. I knew for a fact that that wasn't going to happen. Same with Maria and Tom. I was expecting that. So I guess the only two that I wasn't really fully expecting was the Sabrina and Steven and the Demi and Ollie. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I'm glad that, you know, whatever happens with these couples, they're staying true to themselves and they're doing whatever they think is best for them. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna love you guys and I'm gonna leave you, and I'll see you guys in my upcoming videos. But for now, keep it sassy, delicious.